It's time for another update video. And tomorrow we have an appointment to see the trailer at a showroom, and it's here local, and that's why we picked this place first, because um, the first time that I was thinking about getting this trailer, we were like, oh, you could just get it from China, because I saw somebody on YouTube who had kind of like a really similar trailer, and they manufactured in China, and it was affordable, around like 2 or 3 grand, right? And then from there, I wasn't really thinking about, oh, the shipping costs, what's the customs, like how long does it take to get here if it is coming from China? Don't we have a ban going on with China? So like all these things were going on in my mind about that. Luckily, I have a husband that is like a research king. So he actually found this place in Ontario, which is super close to us. And we wouldn't have to pay shipping or any custom fees. Like they make it all there, and they can even build in all the things for you. So I'm going to go into my email, and the goal for this update video and vlog is to just kind of put like a physical presence to the trailer in our minds. Like I talked about this last vlog, which was like, you have this idea, it's this concept in your head. So actually seeing it in person, I think, will help us a lot, kind of make what we're thinking about doing more concrete and have more legs in our mind. And what I want to do right now is sort of think out loud and brainstorm of all the questions that I have, write them down on paper. I'm going to print the schematic that they had for us. I'm going to write down our immediate short-term goals for the trailer, and reassess what that cost is going to be. I want to see some real numbers. And then what we'll do tomorrow, which is our appointment, is vlog the whole thing. First, ask for permission. I need to remind myself to ask for permission via email if it's okay for me to film while we're in there. That way they know that we're going to be filming and stuff like that. And then if we can film in there, you'll see that in this vlog. And we'll do like an assessment and see how our plans have changed, if anything, which they usually do. When you have this idea and then you are, sunken back down into reality, you're like, okay, what can we really do? So that will be the goal for this update vlog. Okay, so let's kind of go into the email and see. I need to print these things. Look at all the tabs. Okay, this is how I operate. And I was listening to a podcast, and they're like, yeah, people with Asperger's. I was like, I don't have Asperger's. What the hell? I just have a lot of shit to do. Okay, some of you are asking about permits and stuff like this. Dude, go to LegalZoom. I wonder if any of my information is sensitive here. No, okay. LegalZoom, we've been using that for a long time. When we when we have the idea to like jumpstart a business, we're like, let's just go to LegalZoom. It's a lot easier. You could probably save a couple bucks by researching everything yourself, which I'm so over it at this point of like going through the motion, probably through the 4th or 5th time now of like starting up a business and going through these things. I still run my business as a sole proprietorship, but you could definitely go into an LLC or an Inc. if you feel that you need a little bit more protection, or you have a lot of assets, but the fees are greater. There's pros and cons to each thing. You should just Google that, like, should I be a sole proprietor, an LLC, or an Inc.? The reason why I'm staying a sole proprietor is because to me, there's no proof yet of why we would need an LLC or an Inc. yet, but that is the goal. Eventually, I would want to just do that, especially upon getting the trailer. Once we have the trailer, I feel, and we're kind of like getting big item equipment, I'll be able to write off more. I'll be able to claim more, and it'll just make more sense. But as long as I'm doing what I'm doing now, which is like simple online sales, and we're not moving a lot of volume right now, I don't feel the need to LLC it or to do anything like that. So that's the reason why. But LegalZoom should get you handled on your DBA. And typically you will be having a DBA because you're probably running a business not by your own name. So if I was, say, doing something like Meglevu Coffee, like nobody would buy that. So I have a DBA, which is a doing business as Blkcity Coffee Roasters. Okay, So you most likely, if you're in coffee, you'll be having a DBA. You need a business license within your city, the city that you operate. Um, Depending on what food you're handling, like if you're just doing online sales, you need to look that up too. What is constitutes that? Is it a cottage food permit or is it a straight up health permit and food permit? For us, it's a health permit. Um, and then later on, it will be a food concession, food trailer. Yeah. Permit for us. So I'm going through that whole process right now. I've adjusted before. I just had a business license and a DBA. So now we're kind of going through the motions of adding on, changing. We're changing our business license and acquiring all the permits. We also need to, once we have a trailer, get another license plate. It has to be DOT approved. It has to be inspected by a food trailer or a food concession inspector, and you have to schedule that with the county, and that's all done through the county. So a lot of the food and health permits should be done through your own county. Your DBA should be handled through your city, your business license through your city. So the city and the county are the places that you should be visiting for permits and stuff like that. Taxes, you have to pay state and federal tax, and that's all taken, or that's all handled by your EIN, or in my case, yeah, I have an EIN, which is basically a business identifier for the IRS, or you can use your social security number, just like if you were a sole proprietor. But I find it a little bit easier to just use an EIN because I've had an EIN for a long time, and I just had to change the name. Okay, so I can't really go in too deep about the whole permits and stuff like that. One, because I'm right in the middle of it, so I'll probably do like an update official video on it. But a lot of you have been asking me about permits and business licenses, and a lot of it is common sense about what you need. And then some of you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know. I had no idea. So you really have to just research your own city and your own county that you're operating in. And the fact that the trailer is going to be moving from city to city, or that's our plan, we have to actually write down the locations of where we plan to visit. It's on a form, and I have to submit that to the county. And they have to know where we're going to be at all times. And probably since I used to work for the county of Riverside, and I had friends in the food industry, or the food inspectors, I had friends, and what they would do is just show up unannounced and inspect and check all your workers, check your temperature, check this, and just they have this long list. It's like 3 pages long about everything that you're supposed to maintain and do. Like for us, for example, I'd imagine in the trailer they would have to be checking electricity. Is it safe? Do we have a fire extinguisher? Do we have a plan of exit? Do we have a plan of in case of fire, electrical fire, MSDS, so materials of safety and stuff like that? Are your workers, do they have their food handlers permit? Can they handle food? We're going to probably have an ice maker at some point. So is the ice maintained, and is the scoop for the ice, is it maintained in a safe position, in a health conscious position? I don't know what they call it, legal, because you can't just have the ice thing that scoops ice that goes into a cup that you're going to serve people just kind of laying around, right? It has to go in a designated slot, things like that. Like, so things become a lot more, I guess, clinical when you are handling a food place that's you're actually serving now coffee, which is something I never thought I would do. I really thought I still want to remain behind the roaster and behind the scenes. I don't necessarily want to serve coffee, but I've been kind of thinking about it a little bit more, which is like, well, it could be another source of joy for you when you get to serve coffee. I'd love to serve my husband food that I make up in the kitchen, or loved ones who get to actually stay at the house and I get to actually cook for them, which is super rare. because it's something that is really special to me, and it's something that I share with my husband. My husband's this huge foodie, and I get a lot of joy out of him saying, "This is really good," or "This is the best you ever made it," and I'm like, I mean, I don't really show it, but in my heart, I'm like so excited. So I was like, maybe serving coffee that I roasted, or even prepared, and maybe I got good at, like, I don't know, serving latte art or something like that. I was beginning to kind of see how I could enjoy that and find joy out of it, and not think it'd be something that I fear, or not that I want to get joy out of. So, yeah, but I don't know. Who knows? A year ago, I was like, I'm not going to sell dark roasted coffee, and here I am roasting dark coffee. So things change. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring up Madison. Okay. All right. So what I'll need to do is print this out. Let's download it. And then this quote that they gave me. So let's print that out and write down all of the questions that I can think of. Print this, print this. The printer's downstairs, so I'll have to just email it to myself. They were not able to confirm for me. They had this espresso machine. Look how much it is. I was like, what? If you could build it in, that'd be kind of tight, right? But I'm like, is this like a fully automatic one where you don't need any skill or artistry to work it, and it doesn't even pull good shots? Like, what kind of espresso machine is it? This price is ridiculous. So they weren't able to confirm that for me. But most of their they were able to confirm is like this rounder, or this canvas awning, or barista pitcher rinser. See, some of that shit we won't even need right now, right? But like, they were all confirmed to be from webstront.com, and I had came across this webstront.com for commercial. Oh, it didn't pop up. Webstront.com, it doesn't have the HTTPS. For commercial grade restaurant wares, basically. So I think that's a good link for any of you to kind of check out. And then you could see all of the appliances here. So I was like, okay, cool. So I could see what maybe like the awning would look like here with lights. That could be helpful. Like if we decided to serve at a wedding or something like that, which is, we're still considering that. Signs and stuff. Here's a grinder, it looks like. Here we go. Here it is. I didn't even look at it. Okay, this looks crazy. Okay, we're not getting this. Yeah, we're not getting this. I don't know, just from the tell, like, I don't even want to market that I make espresso out of this machine, right? So a lot of like what something looks like, I'm considering the marketing aspect of it, because that's what I like to do, is marketing. Here's the grinder, and this doesn't look terrible. It looks freaking, it's an espresso grinder. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to say no to these, all of these. I want to handpick everything that's attached to making coffee. If it's making ice, I don't give a shit about that, right? So like, what we were also able to find, or what my husband was able to find, is like used equipment, gently used equipment, or even if it's used, like, does it still work? Is it cool? Is it good? Is it a workhorse? You know what I mean? And we found that we could probably find a better deal of, say, a business that went out of business and then just purchase their equipment, as long as the parts are still available online and I can do maintenance myself, and that's a lesser cost than spending, say, $6,000 on an espresso machine. And I know you guys are saying, hey, don't skimp on this, and I'm not going to skimp, guys. It's just that I'm trying to find things that I could work with. Okay, I'm not going to get the cheapest thing, but I may not also get the most expensive thing. That's all I'm saying. There's options in the middle, and a couple of names and brands out there that I think will be, we want something trustworthy, of course. I'm not just going to go for the cheapest. we're going to try to find middle ways, reasonable things for our budget, because it still is sort of like a massive risk, right? And yeah, we're not getting that espresso machine. So these things are, they're going to be the heart of this whole operation. So I'm not taking that slightly. I want the machines that we do go with eventually to be the best that we can afford at that time. But right away, I'm letting you guys know I'm just doing pour over first. Pour over, and we're gonna have a drip coffee machine, a good one, and then do iced coffee in the summer. And that's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna be very simple. I have this idea of still educating people about coffee, but I don't know really how to do that in a way that won't bore people, or people who don't have time for that. But that's still always going to be a part of my drive doing this thing, and surrounding people with good coffee so they can make good coffee decisions, even when they're not buying our coffee. Which I just want to do for others what has been done for me, basically. When I learned how to make great coffee for myself, I thought that was such a gift, and it is a gift. Um, it's teaching somebody how to fish, right, versus just giving them the fish, which the mass of people do that. They just give you the fish. It's like, well, I could teach you though, and maybe you're going to find some real joy in it, and I think you should give it a shot. And that's kind of like the message I want to give to people when I serve coffee to people. Okay, so let's send this request to film. It's typically okay, but I just want to make sure. We're going to be probably stepping into some sort of warehouse. They have a showroom, so I'd say it's okay to film in there. And if they're smart, they should probably say, yes, please talk about us. Please let people know that we sell food trailers, and let them see the quality of it if they have good quality. Okay, continue this off the computer and take it into the brainstorming area. Let's go. Okay, so I've printed these out. Here's the schematic for the trailer. And here is the quote from them. Now, we definitely want to keep shopping around, but there are a couple of things that I want to kind of nix out here. So, like I said, no bench freezer. We're not going to get our grinder from them. We're not going to get our espresso machine from them, or probably the coffee machine. So you have trash bins here. We have the ice maker here. How tall is this thing? When I did, I think it's like 6'3", so I'm only like 5'1". I'll fit right in there. And then my sister would probably be operating in this and running the whole shebang. Is probably going to be like, she's only 5'5" maybe, and then my husband's like 5'5", I think too. So cool. We're all small and we can all fit. So here, the generator is going to have to fit in here. And we're just going to be doing pour over for the first however many months or whatever it is. And that will be stationed here. And we know a woodworker who can probably make us a custom one, and that we could, I would go into detail and depth about designing something very custom. While we don't have an espresso machine, we do have great pour over. And I think part of our journey will be having to explain the difference between pour over and, say, a drip machine to the common, layperson who may just see this coffee trailer out in the middle of nowhere. Or not out in the middle of nowhere. That would be kind of tight, but like out, on the trail. Or maybe they're super into mountain biking, and that's their passion, but they don't know jack about coffee. That would be a great way to sort of reach out to somebody who's in a field that they exhibit passion in their life. I want to surround myself with people who are passionate, who have a thing, or they have like this other calling. That's my customer. It's like maybe they don't know about coffee, but they're so passionate, and they show love for other things in their life. So I feel like they could show the same amount of love and passion for the thing that they serve themselves, which is coffee. So the door's here in the back. The hitch is over here. And I would need to find out, like, if I could tow this trailer, because I really don't want to just have one person able to tow it. I want everything about this and what we're doing. I want somebody else to be able to take over just in case something happens to that person. They get sick, their car's broke, whatever, right? It's just good sense. So things like that. And we're gonna keep this mini fridge for sure. It's got all the regulation sinks. So 3 wear and 1 wash. I don't know what that means. This is regulation, so this needs to be here. It's I think it's called a 3-station wash station. So you have a sanitize, or a clean, a sanitize, and a rinse, and then I think there's like a dry area over here for like your dishes and stuff, and a hand washing station, of course, too. That's all regulation. Now, as you can see, there's no restroom, right? So that's going to be kind of an issue too. Like, how do we do restroom breaks? So just, that's a question, let me write that down. How do we do restroom breaks? Options. I have my way. What I want to do is, like, we have a portable toilet that we keep, and whenever we go on long trips, we have it in the car, and that's no big deal. But is that is that okay when you're actually serving coffee? You still need to wash your hands before and after and all that stuff. Restroom options. What do others do? What do others do who are in this business already? Where do we store clean and gray water? There you go. Because obviously we need clean water for the ice maker. And whenever we wash our hands, I guess that's going under here. Are they tanks under here? How many people can I already think I know that. 2 to 3 people can roll in here. We want to probably do 2 people. So countertop and sales right here. So if this was the case, I would be running sales, and like Jenna, my sister, would be running the coffee making. That's typically what I think we would do. And yeah, I was wondering if I could put out a little bench, or like if I had enough storage in this thing to haul a little little tables right here. Imagine little tables or something. Even just like a cocktail table, so that once you get your order, you go over here to this little cocktail table, and you can put in your milk and your cream and whatever, and like whatever you need to do, and then jam off if you need to bike away or like whatever, right? I think that could be a good idea. TV screens. It would be cool to show the roasting process, in a cool way. So say you're in line and you're waiting for your order or something to watch, something to do. We would need a trash bin outside. Yeah. So need a trash bin for that. Storage for that. And the writing gets sloppier as we go. There's this big space here, so I'm guessing it can just go in here or something like that. Can we store trash in here? I mean, we have trash bins, but if we have extra trash, can you store it in there? Can you? I guess if it's sealed. And it's really not, there's no food storage, we're not throwing away any food. But some bitch may come by here and just throw whatever in your trash can, and now you got to deal with it, right? Okay, that's something to consider. Yeah, we would definitely have all the equipment back here. If we get a nice espresso machine, right, I definitely want to put it up here so customers could see it. So that way, if they do speak our language, they're like, ooh, La Marasco, ooh, Slayer. You know what I mean? What do we need to drive it off the lot? Do we need to drive or tow it off the lot? Country of origin, they have that, they say, and they're reluctant to say it on the web. So guess what? It's probably China. Repairs. How does that happen? How do maintenance and repairs happen? Warranties. I never know how to spell warranty. Okay. Okay. Oh, I should just ask like general questions. It's like, what do people not think of in this biz? Anything I can add or consider? What tips from you? You know, they sell to the people that already do this thing for, I'm guessing more than is the total weight capacity. Will we ever need 2 axles? Where do we fill up or drain? Like an RV goes to an RV dump station, right? Like after you go camping, you can fill up your own, if you could fill up your water, your tanks, you know, you could dump your tanks. There's a designated place for that. I don't imagine we're going to take this to our house, you know what I mean, and fill up our freaking 40-gallon tank or something. That would be ridiculous, I think. But what do people do? Water tanks. All right. These is a lot of questions to take in tomorrow. So I think that's pretty good. The numbers that we need to kind of address here. Decal maybe. Pitcher rinser. I don't know about that. Single trash bin. Screen windows. Oh, here. I did add it on. I upgraded 30-gallon freshwater tank with RV hose inlet. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I answered my own question here. Mini fridge, yeah. Bench freezer, no. No more bench freezer. I don't think we need that. Ice maker can make 12 kilos a day. That's enough. Not this, not this. Automatic coffee machine, not that. And we have to pay tax here. Bummer. See, if I bought from China, I wouldn't have to pay tax per se, right? But I'd have to pay custom fees, which it's probably around here, around this price anyway, like $800 for customs and shipping. Shipping could be like a $2,000 or something like that, crazy. Yeah. So this cost is going to go lower, and we'll see what that is. And maybe, do we even need this size of the rounder? 7 by 5 feet, right? We don't know. Yeah. Okay. So the way that they do payments is, payment terms is 30 days net. There's a penalty interest. Okay. So you can do, I think it's 2 payments for these guys. Yeah. Okay, so they assemble it for $150, shipping to China. So they are outsourcing this trailer, which is probably from China, and then they assemble it for you. Yeah, I see. Because, yeah, if you get it directly from China, you got to assemble it. I don't want to do that. What if I do it wrong? I have this wheel just like rolling off while you're driving. All right, good to know. Okay, so I'm excited. We're going to take this info and a camera into a ret shop, hopefully, tomorrow, which is our appointment, and check back.